I'm Marina Benini. I'm a Yorta Yorta, Wurundjeri and Wiradjuri Winya. Winya is the Yorta Yorta word for Aboriginal woman. I'm here in the Marda Gallery. I am a PhD candidate in Marda. So the exhibition at the Marda Gallery is called Code Switching, Creating Space to Align Structural Values. And through my research, I've actually personalised this linguistic term code switching to locate it here to my country and to my community and to my own knowledge. So a research methodology that I actually came up with is called Wanara code switching. And Wanara is the Yorta Yorta word for active. And so for me, that responds directly to my ability to move between Western and Indigenous spaces, whilst also moving between Indigenous and Western knowledge. This work was made in deep consultation with the Melbourne Museum. A really big part of this work are the original archival wooden museum boxes that you will see in the Marda Gallery, but also at the Melbourne Museum. And I have spent many months working in conversation with these archival boxes. And when I say conversation, I mean I'm really taking time to understand deeply their history and their history of what they represent, which is the over-collecting that happened of our cultural material here in the southeast. And so what's left of that act of over-collecting are two things: our cultural material still in the museum, but also these wooden museum boxes, which are remnants of those colonial acts. I've taken my embodied knowledge, my embodied memory, and through my mark making, I have burnt onto the surface of these wooden boxes. And the marks that come from my body are memories deeply associated with cultural practice, marking that my own Yanbina, my ancestors, use on our cultural materials like our coolamons and our canoes and our spears. And so I've taken that practice and marked these boxes. The sound piece is something I've created based on my own understanding and connection to the cultural materials that belong to my own ancestral country in the museum that I saw. So for me, these cultural materials are alive. They are our ancestors, and I wanted to pay homage to that. So the sound component that features literally inside these boxes is a breathing component that speaks to our materials as alive, as being trapped in these boxes, but whilst trapped, they're still strong and they're still connected to country, they're still connected to us. So it was really important to communicate that. A really big component is the sand component, and for me it was really important to engage the viewers in this conversation. It was important that the material, the sand, be in direct contact with the viewer. So a viewer's role, if you want to call it that, when viewing this show would be to come in, to understand their position, to take responsibility in the sense of engaging with these ideas and then leaving this space and continuing these critical conversations that are very timely out there in the wider world.